Okay, everybody is welcome. I think I forgot to record the previous part of session.
Oh no.
That's not too bad for you, but for the online students, so bad.
All
I
right.
think I should check again, out, but I think I forgot to record it. No problem. Okay, how executives affect your organization, direct decisions, allocation of resources is very important, very important. Resource management is one of the greatest parts of every human management. Every human. Resource is not only to the goods and to the means of production, also your employees, your personnel, your staff is very important resources of an organization. And you should know that how specialize, how allocate these parts of resources to which demands and which supplies to the companies, to the organizations. So differences between demands and resources are called stress. Stress is the distance between the between the resources part and between the demanding parts. If demands are greater than your resources, there are a lot of stresses, a lot of pressure in the company or even in one single person. And reward systems and the behavioral shaping systems using by leaders and managers and also by parents and other trainers. And selection of other leaders, sub leaders, it is mid-level leaders, mid-level managers, and promotions and role modeling. Leaders I have in two parts play role modeling. One, they are role models of their staffs, their executives, and their employees. And second part, they should some people as their role models. Who are people that the leaders are modeling their real life roles from other people's. But the first stage and first part is that leaders should be role model of their followers. And it's very important in environment, strategy, structure, culture, technology, and leadership. And direct decisions. In direct decisions, you should have 5 or 6 parts. One, what are our vision for our company? Where do we want to go? What are the perspective of our company, our organization? Sometimes we are talking about organizational leadership, but honestly, it is not only limited and only allocated to the organizational leadership. It is, for example, leadership of a community, leadership of society, or movement of thinking leadership and thought schools leaders and other parts. At first, the leader should have a vision. If the leader doesn't have any vision, he or she is not a leader, because vision is the perspective of the future of everything you are leading. And after that, based upon that vision, you should determine what missions, what activities, what we do just now in the first duration of time. What should we do? And strategy. What are the steps we should have, and we should take these steps to go from the present situation to the desired situation, from the today to the vision. Is that strategy? Strategy is very planning and very pre-planned actions. You should determine in your strategy what plans, what step we should take to reach that vision. And structure, what are the different parts, what are the action and interaction, what are the intertwining of the different parts of an organization to reach the vision, to reach the goals, to reach the final targets of a company. And organizational culture. We have 2 parts in organizational culture. One, different cultures that are engaged with our organization. It is very important, very inter-organizational pressure sometimes between different oppositional culture. For example, West culture and East cultures, that they are the symbols of their culture. If they are, for example, they have grown in a country like America, no problem, because here there is no very pure Eastern culture, there is no pure Western culture. This is American culture, mixture of different aspects of different cultures. But if they are very original culture, this symbolic part of their culture, their own culture, it is very hard and the source of pressure in a company to work with the different basic cultures, and selection of other leaders that we talked about it before. Allocation to resources and reward system, decisions regarding funding and budgets, financial problems, allocation of resources to support goals. What are the resources that can support our goals, our organizational goals? And formal rewards such as salary and bonuses is formal, everybody knows it. And informal rewards such as recognition, reputation, and giving some external credit, not financial credit, prestige, and social credit to the employees. It is informal reward that the best parts and the most influencing part of rewarding are informal rewards. And promotion of other leaders and managers. And setting the norm and role modeling. Setting decision criteria and rules by which other makes decision. I, as a leader, can have the ability to dividing the jobs, dividing the works to other people and give them the jobs and say that these are our checklists to do the good things. And these are the job description and these are the criteria for right decision making and for making right decision. It is two different parts. When you are talking about the right decision making, you are talking about the process of decision making. It is not related to the content of decision. It is the process of decision making. For example, definition of the problem, what are our goals, what are our missions, what are our visions, and other things. This is right decision making. The process of decision making is good, is proper, is scientific, is operational, is right. But when you are talking about the making right decision, it is not related to the process. It is related to the content of decision. In which area do you want to make decisions? Do we have any good decision, any proper decision, any efficient decision or not? They are inefficient. This is out of the time decision. It is very old-fashioned decision, not modern time decision. And active or subtle or role modeling of wanted behaviors and styles. What are we talking about? Responsibility of strategic leaders. We have, we determine 4 strategic roles of strategic responsibility for leaders. 1, organizational performance. When you are talking about the leadership and strategic leaders, we are talking about the performance of the organization that leader is leading. What is about the organizational performances? Organizational performances is the performance in the behaviors of the organization as a live being in the society, in the productive society, in the financial society, in the government, and in the country, for example. So it is organizational performance. For example, we have Amazon here. In COVID-19, Amazon has lost a lot of money, but the growth of Amazon is up, not down. Why? Because instead of that lot of money that Amazon has lost, a lot of money and a lot of new branches of services Amazon have produced. So the final growth is positive, it's not negative. And internal health organizational culture. When we are talking about the health organizational culture, it is not about the body health. It is not about health it is not about the hygiene. It is about something like mental health. What are the healthy factors, health determining factors in an organization that say yes, in this organization, the relationship between the co-workers, between the managers and mid-level managers and other co-workers, other employees is based upon the healthy criteria behaviors. It is very important that for your behaviors, we have a lot of healthy criteria and health criteria also. Health is the adjective for the criteria that determine which are healthy and which are not healthy. When we are talking health criteria, the criteria that determine the final outcome of the organization is based upon the healthy factors or not. And accountability to internal and external constitutes. We have 2 words here, accountability and responsibility. Accountability is the power to be accountable for a position. It is internal, but it is not external. Your feeling about your job is your accountability. If you have good commitment to your job, if you know yourself as an accountable person for your job, if you think that you should answer other people's questions and you should have some good report about you are accountable. But responsibility is external. Responsible is someone that some people external of his mindset and his body and his internal world that can ask some question of him or her, and he or she would be responsible. For example, journalistic people are persons that are admitted, they are permitted to ask any question from anybody. So they are very dangerous. They are very hazardous people. Why? Because a journalistic man, a journalistic woman, a journalist can ask every question from everybody. But the person that should answer is responsible. So responsible is from responsibility part of the person, of the position, but accountability for the internal part. I should be accountable myself on my job. And ethical behavior and role modeling. Every type of human actions has a lot of ethical issues. Some parts is very famous. For example, sexual ethical issues, financial ethical issues, marketing ethical issues. For example, if you are working as a marketer in a company, there's an ethical issues that you should sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, that the information from the marketing of the company is secret for that company, and you cannot talk about those information out of the company. This is NDA, non-disclosure agreement. It is legal part of ethical issues, for example, of a marketer. And out of the law, it is illegal, it is interpersonal and intrapersonal. How do you think ethical about the business? Do you commit yourself that, yes, I am the source of secrets of the company and I should not, and I cannot talk about it out of the company with unrelated people or with the people that maybe are competitive companies. It is ethical issues and ethical behavior of a strategy leader, because a leader knows a lot of things about the perspective, about the vision of companies, and also that, some competitive companies, some competitive organization will pay a lot of money to buy the information of a strategy leader of another competitive company. And role modeling also, we talk about it. Factors that affect executive salaries. It's very important. We are talking about salary. One, size of organization. Greater organization, more salaries. Why not? Because you working so hard for that company. And industry competition. How competitive, how many competition is there in a market for that company? Is it very competitive situation in a company related to the other companies or not? It is monopole. Monopole is some part of the market which is restricted, which is limited only to one company. Only the one producer, the single producer, is that company in that market. It is monopole company, for example. And CEO power and discretion. How much, how many, in which levels, in what extent of personal responsibility a CEO has power and discretion. And internalization. What are the interactions between the different parts of the company and organization? It is internalization. And high stress and stability. This is high stress internally, inter-company organization. And stability is related to the market also. How stable we are in this market. Except of some exceptional criteria, exceptional situations like, for example, COVID-19. the ordinary company, ordinary situation, ordinary society, what are our basic instability factors, pressure that which have pressure on a company, and characteristic of nonprofits. It's nonprofit, and we operate without profits. We talk a lot about it at the first of the session. Funds reinvested inside the organization is very important. We talk about it with Alexander about the differences between the nonprofit companies, for-profit companies, as especially nonprofit companies and charities. It is reinvested inside the organization. Because of that, it is nonprofit. It has a lot of income, a lot of outcome and income. But finally, it is reinvested inside the company. There is no outcome for the members of that company, financial outcome, nothing. Public service mission, one of the greatest parts of the nonprofit and also charities, it is for public service mission. We talk about what company? Goodwill, as a good, effective nonprofit company. And voluntary board of directors, it is very important. Nobody is receiving any salary in the nonprofit company. Nobody. It is nonprofit. And funded through various private and public contributors. It's very important that contributors and contributions are public and sometimes private. Also in some countries, like countries in the Middle East, there are a lot of limiting laws, limiting legal problems for founding, for example, nonprofit companies. But in America, it is not so hard to establish a nonprofit company. And a lot of people has the culture to engage with the nonprofit. And it's a trustable relationship between the members, future members in the general population out of the nonprofit company and the board of directors inside the nonprofit company. Roles of leaders in nonprofit organization, we have donors and recipients. Leaders are between two parts, donors and recipients. Individual donors, members, foundation, government grant, and other contributors. And other parts, individuals, members, community, others, organization. Okay. Is there any question? We have 40 minutes from now, 50 minutes. We have 15 minutes from now to take your weekly quiz. This is week 5. And the previous week was for midterm. I didn't check your scores, your grade. I hope it was good.
Bye.
Bye, Alexander.
Bye. Have a great week.
Bye.